Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Very busy day in the headlines. Lots to talk about. Another massive fire has broken out in Los Angeles. This one's burning up a lot of trees so far, not homes. And it comes 2 days before Trump arrives in Los Angeles to talk about the fires that began on January 7th. And of course, a week back, Trump was talking about how he's going to make California get down with some of his ideas if they want the aid that they need after these fires. So now there's more bargaining chips at the table. And today's fire is causing a major traffic problems. The massive interstate that runs through the entire West Coast, I-5, is shut down because the fire is near I-5. And again, today's date numerology is 5. So what a day for I-5 to be shut down. They're investigating the fire as an arson, and it's a perfect day for an arson, as we'll get to. It's a perfect day for the Hughes fire, as we'll get to. And like the thumbnail says, everything buzzing in the news right now is literally 47. And we're going to cover that from the Hughes fire, which equals 47 in Gematria, to everything else. So Trump's banning of the pride flag at U.S. embassies. The pride flag is going to turn 47 years old this year, as we'll get to, and you'll see just how perfect this ritual is. The Stargate project, we touched a little bit on this last night, but I didn't really look into it. I'm going to show you how it's perfectly synced with Trump and Sam Altman. Sam Altman's Mr. OpenAI, and it's, he's the figurehead of this project. Yes, it's already started a little tiff with Elon Musk, who doesn't think these companies have enough money to get the job done. Again, Trump's announcement for withdrawing from the WHO again. Again, the WHO was established on April 7th, 4/7 in history, as we'll get to again. Tennessee is one of the few 47 states in the nation. We talked about this Antioch shooting as the news broke at the end of this morning's live stream. I'm going to come back and show you just how by the numbers this Antioch high school shooting is. Earlier today, we showed how it was perfectly synced with the theater shooting in the same town back in 2015 on August 5th. And we'll also talk about this fire that happened in Turkey. We talked about how 2025 could be a year of fires. I emphasized that this morning before the latest fire broke out in LA. It's because fire equals 25 in Gematria. And in case you missed the pardoning of the Silk Road founder, again, we'll recap that because I think that's an important piece of information. I'll do it real quick since I did a stream on it earlier. But again, Gematria, the thing that every American should know, because it's the knowledge to see through the ritualism that takes place in this nation every single day. Numerology and Gematria. It doesn't matter what you believe about these things. It only matters what you can prove with them. And again, Gematria is essentially Jewish numerology as it's known, but it's been adopted into all kinds of cultures. It is the practice of coding numbers into words that comes from Kabbalah. Of course, numerology is breaking down the numbers of dates. And for example, in Gematria Hughes, there's 4 base ciphers in the English language: the alphabetic order with numerology. A is 1 up to Z is 26. The reverse alphabetic order, Z is 1 back to A is 26, and then both orders with numerology applied, so the 4 base ciphers. You can see that Hughes, for example, equals 68 with the alphabetic order. H would be the 8th letter, U would be the 21st, G the 7th, so on. If you take the alphabetic order in numerology, Hughes is 32 instead. H would still be 8. Use a double-digit letter. It's 21. So the numerology of 21 is 2 plus 1 is 3. So in the blue cipher, the U's were 3 rather than 21. That's why you get a smaller value. And then running the alphabetic order and running it in reverse, or running the alphabetic order in reverse and running it in reverse numerology, that's where you can see that Arson is 68 and 32. But today's date numerology path. Today is January 22nd, 2025. 1 plus 22 plus 20 plus 25 is 68. 68 would be 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 would be 1 plus 4 is 5. So today's date numerology is going to break down to 5, no matter what path you take. Like I-5 is shut down from this. The life lesson number path is where you add the day and the month as they are, and then you add the year digit by digit. So 1 plus 22, that's 23. And then plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9 more for 2025. So 23 plus 9 is 32. So you have these different date numerology paths today, 6832 corresponding with Hughes and Arson. And again, if you're watching the news, it's being investigated as an arson. Again, most of these fires in the news are arson. But yeah, again, this fire has shut down I-5, and it happens 2 days before Trump arrives in Los Angeles to talk about the fires. Hughes fire is 47. And I realize, in case somebody thinks I snuck an L in there or something, I actually capitalized the I, but Hughes fire 47. These are the base ciphers. Tomorrow is going to be the 106th day of Gavin Newsom's age. Friday will be 106 days after Gavin Newsom's birthday. Today's 104 days after Newsom's birthday, October 10th, or the 105th day of his age. Tomorrow will be 105 days after his birthday, or the 106th day of his age. And again, Friday, when Trump's in town, again, it'll be 106 days after Newsom's birthday. Trump and Newsom are meeting on Friday. As massive as this fire is, it's safe to assume it'll still be burning on Friday. And again, just 106 days. And as for today being the 105th day of Newsom's age, wildfires is 105. Remember, the Rams made home teams 5-1 in the playoffs, the last game of the wild card weekend, after having their stadium moved to State Farm Stadium in Arizona, the land of the Phoenix. The Phoenix rises from the ashes like the 15-minute cities soon will. But again, wildfires 51, Rams also 51. Remember, after the 2008 November fires, Monday Night Football was Goff with the Rams then versus Mahomes. Record 105 points. Goff won that game 54-51. And then they gave the game ball to Goff's father, who was supposedly one of the firefighters in the Paradise. I can't remember if it was the Paradise or the Los Angeles fire, the two that burned on November 8th, 2018, 118. Again, Paradise, California's 118. Los Angeles, California's 118. Remember, the fires that began in Los Angeles on January 7th were 89 days after Newsom's birthday. But yeah, this is more bargaining chips for number 47, who was just talking about with the more recent fires for today about how, he might have to make Gavin Newsom, come around to some of his ideas if he wants all that federal money for rebuilding and cleaning up the mess and taking care of the damage. So how perfect that this Hughes fire happens just 2 days before he arrives. And what's funny is they're saying that this fire or this town of Hughes, again, here's the stuff, 105th day, Gavin Newsom's age. There's so many things that stand out really here. Part of me even wonders about today being the anniversary of Kobe Bryant's 81-point game. If you guys don't know about Kobe, Kobe being Bryant 81, 54 the other way, dead the Sunday before Super Bowl 54. Kobe Bryant 41, like the rest of his team scored 41 in that game that he scored 81. So many 41 rituals in Kobe's life, only to die at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age. Again, you haven't read my 2017 book about rig sports, big section on Kobe and 41, how that number defined his whole career. That was 3 years before he died at 41. And as the 29th page of that 800-page book says, it all goes back to the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. And it's the Jesuit founder who said, "Go forth and set the world on fire." We talked about how the first set of fires in LA began 56 days after the Superior General's birthday, and surely they would blame climate change. This town that's in jeopardy from the fires today, Castaic, is 56, like climate change, like Society of Jesus, like Washington, D.C., the Jesuit stronghold, Trump coming to talk federal money. But yeah, the Wikipedia says this town is 38 miles away, right? 38 miles away. We talked about how the fire in LA was a span of 38 days from the last major windstorm in California, December 1st, 2011, that caused a lot of damage. And look at this thing about Trump. Trump's getting made fun of because he made a claim that Los Angeles limits its residents to 38 gallons of water a day. And he's saying that's the reason that the fire was so bad, because of these stupid policies. Again, Trump's always talking in Kabbalistic code. And remember, a special number to Kabbalah, 38 is. Kabbalah is 38. Gematria, the practice of going numbers into words, is 38. English is 38. Energy is 38. DC's on the 38th parallel. Trump with his little Kabbalah plaque in his office. Look it up. He has one. You know, talking with his little hands, making up his bullshit like he does every day, but he's talking in code. Just a made-up stat about how LA limits residents to 38 gallons of water a day. Totally false stat, but you see where it came from. Same reason Wikipedia says that this town's 38 miles from downtown Los Angeles. So, but yeah, that's a big 47 in the news. Shutting down I-5 by the numbers with the no doubt arson. And then look at this banning of the pride flag by the numbers. So Trump's 78 years old, right? That's another big thing going on with Trump. Trump in 78, his first thing in office was to rescind 78 Biden era executive orders. Biden took office at 78 like Trump. Again, they're both Jesuit educated men. Jesuit equals 78. Tesla equals 78. Again, he's partnered up with Elon Musk, who was declared the world's richest man on the 78th death anniversary of Nikola Tesla for the first time ever back on January 7th, 2021. I know I'm a broken record, but again, it's got to get out there. Anyhow, the pride flag was created in 1978. So the pride flag has existed since 78. It actually equals 78 in Gematria. Again, just Trump's whole parallel with me coming back and being the split-term president like Grover Cleveland. Just look at the overlap with Cleveland and pride flag. Isn't that funny? Again, Trump had his convention in 2016. We've told you for years he's coming back as the new Grover Cleveland, fat slob, mail-order bride for a wife, etc., etc. Never forget, split term equals 132, like the rooms in the White House, and it's been 132 years since the last split-term president because it is that scripted. He was born for the job, just like he told you in his Serta commercial back in the early 2000s. But look at this, you guys. It's not just the 78 thing. Like I said, everything's 47. The pride flag is going to turn 47 years old this year on June 25th. But notice, it was born on June 25th, Orwell's birthday. From that day to Trump signing off on this ban of the flag at U.S. embassies is 211 days later, the 47th prime. I mean, come on. And again, the pride flag was born in San Francisco today, January 22nd. We mostly write 1/22 in the U.S. We've always called San Francisco the 122 city. San Francisco equals 122. San Francisco's on the 122nd meridian west. It's home of the Church of Satan. Satanic equals 122 and 50, as well as 22. But San Francisco, 122 and 50. Remember, Roe versus Wade was decided on January 22nd, 122, 122 days after Jane Roe's September 22nd birthday, and then it was overturned by the numbers in a Jesuit ritual on modern Freemasonry's birthday in the 50th year since the ruling. And the memo leak was on the 122nd day of the year, May 2nd, by Alito, that showed that it was going to be overturned before it was on June 24th. As they give you the first token black female Supreme Court justice with the last name Jackson, as they tell you this is going to impact black women the most. And it's the, what was it, Dobbs-Jackson decision, just all straight up obvious mockery. But anyway, just the pride flag from San Francisco. And again, just 211 days after the anniversary, just couldn't be any more obvious. 78-year-old chump back in office. And again, just the way they played the populace. United we stand, divided we fall. All of this stuff purposefully done to polarize and divide. And again, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, like you see all these people online cheering and be like, yeah, whoa, I love it. It's like, is anything being done about your crazy insurance costs right now? How much focus do we have on executive actions to get food costs down ASAP? I haven't seen him say one peep about health insurance costs. Sure, when they start drill baby drilling, that should bring down a lot of costs because everything does depend on fossil fuel. But again, they want to go to places like Anwar, which are some of the most beautiful places in the world and where a lot of nature still stands a chance. Got to remember, there is a cost, another cost to drill baby drill. But seriously, I mean, banning the gay pride flag at U.S. embassies, is that I don't know. Does it really help anything in the world? Some people will say, yeah, it does. Those gay people are evil. It's like, again, I mean, let's be honest. Like, what gay person's really ever caused a problem in your life? Like, I'm not. I've seen some of these young guys. Like, seriously, when I go to the mall these days, I'm more likely to see a young couple that are two guys holding hands and kissing in the mall than a boy and a girl. I mean, I do think it's weird too, and I realize there is like a thing. It's all about depopulation. That's what's going on. Trust me, I'm not blind to that. But again, you can just see what they're doing here. They're trying to create a culture war, and it's like, while people are cheering for this or becoming more depressed by this, the things that really are impacting our lives right now, they're not being talked about. I just had to sign up for health insurance for my little baby. In Washington State, they make me sign up for dental insurance. She doesn't even have teeth yet. I now have to pay over $1,000 a month for health and dental insurance. What's funny though is you look at it, if you make below a certain income, the state covers everything, and it's like, okay, that there is health insurance coverage essentially that state paid for with taxpayer dollars if you don't have any money, and I suppose that's a good thing, because how's a poor person going to afford over $1,000 a month? But seriously, how do I afford over $1,000 a month? So again, I mean, these are the things that really need to be addressed right now, and all this stuff that's just being done is just swinging the purposeful cultural pendulum that's meant to divide us and polarize us more and more and keep us voting for these two sold out parties that play these games of just token symbolism. All right, Trump struck down 70 some different types of gender you can identify as. Trust me, I think all this stuff's a bunch of nonsense and hooey too. But again, these are like popping balloons that don't matter. There's 40 balloons up here on the wall that you can pop. The ones that would actually matter are figuring out how to do something ASAP about how crazy insurance costs are, and just other things for cost of living. So this stuff is not a priority. And again, this is just, it's like making every Fox News watch, Fox News watch. And don't forget, Fox News was founded by a Republican Party member, but it's just like, making these people so happy over all this empty token symbolism that at the end of the day really doesn't make that big of a difference. Again, what would be more effective is going in front of the nation and saying, you know what, young people, I want you to realize that there's powers that shouldn't be, and they want to depopulate. And that is part of the reason through their movies and their TV shows, they're really making it cool to be homosexual. And, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't this way. And, I mean, most young boys out there who are watching today were more interested in girls than other boys. And just think about how your mind's being controlled by televisions and institutions. That's the kind of stuff that I think a real leader should do, not sign off on, oh, we're not going to have the pride flag, a U.S. embassy. I mean, really, who gives a shit? That's the way I see it. Okay. The Stargate project. With regards to everything being 47. So the Stargate project, 211, the 47th prime. I mean, what day was it announced? It was announced yesterday on 21/1, right? That day could be right, 21/1, like 211. And for years, we talked about Trump and his gazillion 47 rituals. Yesterday also had a lesser date numerology of 47, 1 plus 21 plus 25, 47. And Sam Altman, who's the, going to be the face of it, Mr. AI, notice it was announced on his 275th day of his age. The Stargate project, when you run it in reverse, 275, like federal government. All these big tech billionaires propped up by government money. All of them. All of the richest men in the world are all propped up by government money and government contracts. All of these guys, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, they all get buku government money and contracts for doing all kinds of things, building technology, databases, building the databases for the surveillance state, the technology for the surveillance state. People don't realize that Amazon's like the developer, the lead developer in the facial recognition technology that's going in the cameras all over. It's been several years now since that photo of New Year's in New York where you could zoom in from way, you could see like the whole crowd from top of one of these skyscrapers, and you could zoom in and make out everyone's face. These companies are the ones developing essentially the surveillance state, and the leaders of these companies are the ones that are being made into multi-billionaires, largely through taxpayer dollars, through government grants and funding. Everyone thinks that Amazon is the sales company. They are that, but they're also into a lot of other things, databases, technology development. Again, and are there any of these companies at the end of the day, are they even really private, or are they just made to look like they're private companies? So the government police surveillance state is less obvious. Again, this is fascism. Remember, fascism is another word that equals 47. You literally had all the richest men in the nation who were all big tech guys at Trump's inauguration. Nothing like that ever before. And people are cheering it on. You know, it's sick. So, yeah, like I said, everything's 47. Let's keep it moving. Again, the WHO, what day was that created? On 4/7? 76 years old right now. Donald John Trump, 76. Again, days after the Superior General turns 76 and King Charles turns 76, the headline breaks that Trump's the first Republican presidential candidate to amass more than 76 million votes. Again, plutocracy, Pluto. Pluto has the 248-year orbital cycle. This country, 248 years old. We're seeing a direct reversal of what it was supposed to be about. It was never supposed to be an oligarchy, controlled by a small group of super wealthy, like a monarchy, like kings and queens. But that's what it's become. And it didn't happen overnight, and it didn't just happen with Trump. But I mean, we're just to a whole new level. And then also the other thing about the WHO is they just have the big fat snake on there. And for years, Trump told his snake poem and how, you knew I was a snake, but you let me in. And here he is, back in his number 47, 9 days before the year of the snake begins. And again, I mean, like, I don't have any problem with leaving the World Health Organization. I just understand this is all token symbolism. At the end of the day, this doesn't make any difference. We know Trump will go along with the next medical scandemic, who or not. So, again, Tennessee, 47, right? And here's just what kills me about the Tennessee thing. We've talked about it a million times. Wednesday has the Gematria shooting. A lot of the school shootings end up on Wednesdays. If it's not a Wednesday, it's probably a date with 44 numerology. But this Antioch High School, again, as we covered earlier, it's 93 years old. 93 is the number related with Saturn. Saturn to the occult represents death and time. The Grim Reaper's scythe comes from Saturn's sickle. It's an astrological symbol. So 93 is a big Saturn number. Again, death and time. The school's 93 years old, has this deadly shooting. And 93 is also a very important number to the Illuminati and Aleister Crowley's Thelema. Notice it's 105 days after the governor's birthday. Order of Illuminati has the 93-105. You could also say it's the 106th day of his age, in Tennessee's 106. And I don't know if there's something more to 106 today, because let me see what 106 is for composite numbers. Because again, that Hughes fire is also 106. Huh. 106 is the 78th composite number. Again, we're really starting to zero in on the composite numbers. But like I said, Tennessee's got the 47 too. So the police chief in charge of the scene is John Drake. Police Chief John Drake, 105 days after the governor's birthday. His name's just full of it too. I mean, he's got everything in his name. He's got the 102 like police. Nashville is 102. He's got the 177 like the Jesuit order. His name is loaded. But this is the part that killed me right here. The shooting started in the cafeteria. We see this all the time. At 11:09 a.m. And police were called 2 minutes later at 11:11. And it's funny. Somebody asked me about a month ago when the first mass shooting in the nation might happen. And I said, well, could be January 18th because it's got the right date numerology. It's a Saturday. Or I said, could be the Wednesday around then, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So here we are on the Wednesday. He said, well, what time it'll happen at? If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's that CT guy. I said, well, they usually happen around 11 a.m. That's almost always 11 a.m. if you pay attention. So anyhow, this time it's 11:09 a.m. We've seen this before. Again, Fraternal Order of Police 119. If you run it in reverse, it's 124. 124 is the 93rd composite number. Again, the Fraternal Order of Police has the all-seeing eye in their logo, which is 119. And this happened in Antioch, which goes back to the Bible. The original Christians in the Bible are the Christians of Antioch. 119. And here we are in the time of the 119th Congress. So right away, Trump's in office, 119th Congress. Time for the politicians to get out and talk about the gun control, right? And yeah, that's not going to happen really while you would imagine it's not really going to happen while the Republicans have the House, Senate, and Oval Office. But you did have Trump in there who did say, I like take the guns first and due process second. And both parties do subtly undermine the Second Amendment. But again, this hospital where the victims were sent to, Catholic Hospital, Ascension St. Thomas Hospital, 113. If you missed today's earlier live stream, I was talking about the 113 before we even looked this up. The last time there was a mass shooting in Antioch, it was at a theater at 1:13 p.m. Remember this special number to the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, which is related to the Fraternal Order of Police. But from the last shooting in Antioch, August 5th, 2015, to today is 113 months and days. And the victims were sent to the 113 hospital, when again, 113 is the number from the Talmud that has to do with deception and justifying lying. If you drop the hospital part, Ascension St. Thomas, it's 122. Like today's date is January 22nd. And again, the 122 matters because the Jesuits, who again are the fathers of modern Freemasonry, Sus Hominum Salvator, their motto is 122. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope's 122. Today's the 37th day of the Pope's age. Shooting has that 37 and 44 in it, just like Wednesday does. 3744. 37th day of the Pope's age. But yeah, 47 takes office. First mass shooting at a school in the time of number 47 happens in a 47 state. And again, Tennessee, also 106. And as we realize now, the 78th composite number, going with the 78-year-old chump. But yeah, it does beg the question. I mean, the victim's a 16-year-old. If you guys don't know, Tennessee's the 16th state in order of statehood. It was established on June 1st, which you can write 1/6 like 16. The shooter is Solomon Henderson. Should remind you of Solomon's Temple, where all of Freemasonry's secrets are. Solomon Henderson. Let me see. I think I wrote down some notes on the victim and the shooter. Yeah, Solomon Henderson equals 79 and 74. Murder is 79. Killing is 74. In light of the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, Yeshua is 79. Jesus is 74. The Society of Jesus has the 79 connection as well. Catholic Hospital. Again, it's all super suspect. And you never see any proof in any of these stories what happened. We have now a pretty long-time member of the community. He's grown up with us. He was in high school when the Parkland shooting happened on 2/14 in the time of Trump. Remember, JFK was killed at Parkland Hospital in the 214 area code. So you get the Parkland High School shooting on Valentine's Day, 2/14. The school that had the logo that looked just like the Philadelphia Eagles. And Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School was in Florida, but it was named after a woman from Minneapolis. And it was right after the Eagles won the Super Bowl in Minneapolis. And starting the day the news broke, they interviewed a red-haired student who supposedly hid in the closet and survived. And she told the story of how her uncle survived a mass shooting in Philadelphia. It's like, I mean, it's like anyone listening or paying attention or looking at any of this stuff, they're got like the Philadelphia Eagles logo in front of your face. They just won the Super Bowl days earlier. If you guys weren't here back then, we told you in week 3 why the Super Bowl was going to be Eagles and over the Patriots, or Eagles versus Patriots. And that was all about Trump. Trump has the same birthday as the flag. He took office while the flag was 239 years old. The flag is sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philly. Trump took on the protesters of the flag in the NFL season on the 23rd day of the 9th month when 239 is the 52nd prime. Minnesota equals 52 hosted the Super Bowl that year, where the Eagles beat Tom Brady and the Patriots with the flag on their helmet. And I did say that if the Eagles were going to win that game, Zach Ertz would be the winning score of the touchdown. If you bet a guy to be the winning score of a game, that usually pays between 20 and 30 to 1, just for the record. But the reason we had Zach Ertz to score the winning touchdown if the Eagles were going to win. And every single year I've been here since Super Bowl 48, we've called the Super Bowl right. That was the year I was the most wrong, but I wasn't that wrong. And you could have hit 30 to 1 on Zach Ertz. Again, he wore number 86. The Super Bowl was 86 days after his birthday, and the national anthem was adopted 86 years before that season. That's why we said if the Eagles are going to win the home of the flag, it'll be Zach Ertz who scores the winning touchdown. Exactly what happened. And just for the record, what made it hard that year is Brady was the passing leader. He outpassed Phillip Rivers by 62 yards, who was in second place. Brady did so many 62 rituals that year, and the Super Bowl was in Minneapolis, which equals 62. And it was between him either becoming 6-2 in Super Bowls or falling to 5-3. And he did fall to 5-3. And again, that's a monster number in the NFL, 53. 53-man roster, 53-yard wide field. It's because of the shape of the football and sacred geometries, the Vesica Pisces, which equals 53. But anyway, the point is, we absolutely, just like we have almost every year, we absolutely destroyed the NFL that year. And again, you put a little hedge bet down for Zach Ertz for the winning touchdown. You weren't mad at all because you got paid big time. Again, that's the power of this knowledge for all the people out there that somehow watch the videos for years and still don't know what to do with it. You do what I do. Expose what's going on, the ritualism, the fakery, the lies, the deception, and then you pad your pockets. Like how we smashed last night with the Ohio State upset in college basketball. Huge underdog, upset Purdue, dropping them to 15-5 a day after Ohio State wins the 155th college football season. Like how I told you at the beginning of the year when Johnny Gaudreau died on Route 551, that might be the sacrifice for Ohio State to win the championship. And it was. That's what you do with the knowledge. Expose evil, pad your pockets. This fire that happened in Turkey. Look at the name of the resort. 70 and 29, right? 70 and 29. Look at fire. 70 and 29. And the story is that they were supposed to put in a sprinkler system in 2018 and failed to do so. And also they're saying there were no fire alarms in the building. Pretty weird. I would say this was probably a planned ritual. These people died on January 21st, a date with 67 numerology. Blood sacrifice equals 67 and 121. Human sacrifice is also 67. Again, the people who rule this world, man, I don't know if they get real sorcery power from doing this, but they do kill a lot, and they do it ritualistically by the same code every time. And just imagine if it's a religion, too. It's like, people believe things that maybe it really doesn't do anything for them, but just the power of their mind, just they did it, like, oh, that's their ritual. Some people think putting a little drop of water on the baby's head, the baptism, ensures that they're going to go to the beautiful place in the afterlife by just putting the water on the head. It's a belief, right? These people, clearly, the death cult that rules over us, they get something out of killing the way they do. And they initially reported 76 dead, 51 injured. Illuminati, founded in 1776 on 5/1 by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt's got that 51 in his name. And it's being investigated as arson as well. And it happened on a 67 date numerology. So the hotel opened in 78. A part of me just wonders, Turkey is a long way from the United States, but this is a new world order. There's been a lot of blood shed for the chump to return back to office. Ottoman Empire, World Wars, all connected to where we are today. By the way, the death toll went from 76 to 79. They're now reporting 79 dead. You'll see that one a lot. Murder 79, Society of Jesus 79. OJ, born on 7/9. All right. Yeah, and just again, a lot of people giving Trump the street cred for pardoning Ross Ulrich, the creator of the Silk Road marketplace that was dubbed a black market with all the bad stuff going on there. But what about everything else? Again, just to remind you, it doesn't even look like this kid really created the Silk Road. It looks like the CIA did, because this is a perfect operation. again, from his arrest by the feds to his release, thanks to Trump, which gets him the street cred, was 135 months and days. And again, from Trump saying at the Libertarian Convention that he would release him, he would pardon him if made president, from those remarks on May 24th to January 21st was exactly a span of 243 days. And you can see how the kid's name in Central Intelligence Agency go with 243 and 135. And his alias was Dread Pirate Roberts, which also corresponds with Central Intelligence Agency, which also corresponds with Bitcoin, which is what that market was largely based on, which again is another Jesuit operation, just like the CIA is a Jesuit operation. So, and again, the Silk Road was named after a dynasty that went until the year 220 CE. Trump, again, took office 220 days after his birthday. Donald John Trump, 220. It's like all perfectly planned, coordinated ritual. Trump, who had that swell trade deal with China that brought the cooties to America, where he was at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, gloating about it the day it was confirmed in the U.S. And he signed off on the tens of trillions in debt, money printing that caused hyperinflation that he then blames on the next guy, because that's how the two-party system's set up. Put this stooge in for 4 years, bring this next stooge in for 4 years, then they can point fingers at each other and say, oh, those are my accomplishments. No, that's your fault. And all the dummies can be like, yeah, I'm going to take that side because I wear that color. I'm a red color. I'm a blue color. It's like, put it together, purple. Like all the purple symbolism around Trump, too. The lifelong Democrat, just like Ronald Reagan, the other Hollywood actor who ran on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan, as they burn up California for him to come to town so it looks like hell. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else going on, because sweet lady wasn't thrilled about me doing a second stream today. She's calling me negligent dad, but I said, hey, listen. Listen, I want to be with Sweet Girl too, but I don't know. You just never know. One of these videos might finally wake up the world, so Sweet Girl doesn't have to grow up in hell. I'm just saying how all the networks are covering all this stuff right now. I saw that CNN was, what do they call that guy? The QAnon shaman. Remember, QAnon's another 201 thing. The QAnon shaman, how his first tweet when he got freed was he's going to buy a bunch of guns. CNN was very worried about that. CNN's very worried about people using their Second Amendment, because the media is not American, and neither are any of these political parties. They're all bought and paid for by essentially foreign interests. Jesuits aren't American. Central bankers mostly aren't American. This nation's owned by things that do not care about us. They only want to use us. So, and yes, another good observation in the earlier stream, I was making the same point yesterday. The thing that Melania wore does look like the Hamburglar, which equals 47, but it also looks like the hat that Jesuit priests wore, including the hat that Guy Fawkes is known for wearing. Remember, the election was on Remember the 5th of November, the day the Jesuits tried to blow up British Parliament, known as the Guy Fawkes plot or the Jesuit treason. So no doubt that's where they're going with this, and it's all predictive programming, or where this shit show's being taken to further polarize. When we get the next assassination story, do you think it's going to be an LGBTQT person? That's probably where they're going with it. If I had to pick right now, that'd be my assumption. Name will be like Juan Castro from the Castro. All right. Anyhow, we'll keep this one short and sweet. Thank you to everyone who hit the like and the share. If you guys want to support the work, I do have a Patreon. I wish more people pledge to it. Thank you to everyone who does. And when it gets to where it needs to be, maybe we'll have the Truth Seeker bus making laps around the country, hitting all the sites. Truth Seeker bus should be en route to LA right now, bolting over to Tennessee. Again, we should be on the ground everywhere, educating like we do. If you guys never seen how we get down on the ground, we're good. Everywhere I go, pretty good crowd comes out. And again, that was the real problem. We went out and did it big from 2022. And I'm pretty sure it was big tech that punished us, but everything fell off. Views fell off. Support for the work fell off. It's like, really? After we pound payment across the nation and make people stop and listen, the towns we go to, support's falling off? Anyhow, we need support to come and stay. And these things do kind of need to happen. If you want to see this world change, it's going to take people like us being on the ground in cities when major events happen, breaking it down. Again, it's too bad Google keeps deleting the video of what we did in front of New York City, in front of that bookstore. We had people from blocks just stop and listen to what we were talking about, educating about 201 and event 201 and making them think about how 2 towers became 0 before they became 1 and what this number means to a certain group of people. Again, you present it the right way, people stop and listen, think, maybe I do need to look more into this Kabbalah thing, into this numerology thing. Again, imagine if the whole nation knew what we knew. Imagine if everyone in LA knew that it was an arson today and they did this on purpose to cause the catastrophe they did down there. See, you impact people's lives, they might get down with the agendas. A lot of people are getting, imagine the traffic jam. I-5, I-5 any day of the week in the LA area is crazy. Shutting down I-5 in Los Angeles, there's going to be a lot of people highly inconvenienced today. And I don't know how long they're going to shut it down for. If you guys aren't from the West Coast, I-5 is a major interstate. That thing is as wide as the Nile in Los Angeles. So, yeah, the way, again, it's sad. It's sad. It had people woken up to what we were talking about a long time ago. I know there's a lot of goons down in LA area who've tried to slander my name. Maybe Professor Dave Explains is stuck in traffic today. Maybe he'll think twice about how stupid numerology is. Professor Dave Explains just made a video the other day, just taking a little shot at numerology. Oh, yeah, numerology, stupid bullshit. Yeah, Professor Dave Explains. Yeah, stupid bullshit. I hope you're stuck in the traffic jam today. You deserve it. Hope your house burns up. You deserve it. I'm down with debunking all the flat earth bullshit, but everything else you do, well, your science tutorials are fine, but everything else you do is like legitimizing the mainstream bullshit. You're more dangerous than a flat earther. So anyway, some people have it coming. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Again, thank you to everyone who hits the like and the share. And until next time. Again, in case you missed it, I-5 is shut down on a 5-day numerology. Because there's a fire. The Hughes fire by the numbers. Just before the chump comes to town. Till next time.